Okay, maybe it's just me, but it feels as though the only thing that's going to stop Shigaraki from sitting in a cell for a long time is Gigantomachia, cause fam, if you ain't gonna listen to All For One, no matter how you feel, you don't want to get controlled, you don't want to be mind blown, you don't want somebody to be running the show, you want to be the head honcho, cool beans. But right now fam, he's giving you some sound advice, like it is getting down to the wire and you need a skedaddle fam. I've been on the hype train for you and I'm still on the hype train. I'm rooting. Shigaraki, go, Toga, love you, all of that jazz. But fam, you gotta know when to fold them, and right now, it's only gonna be Gigantomachia. That's the only thing that's gonna save this dude, because he's going crazy. He's not stopping, and I mean, I admire that. I admire, like, yo, we ain't gonna surrender fam, we ain't backing down, but yeah, like I said, gotta know when to fold them. Either way, My Hero Academia returning to the greatness that I thought it was a wrap. I thought, like, okay, the battle's over, you know, Shigaraki's about to just get rescued, it's a wrap, and no, fam, not the god himself, Shigaraki! Or, well, he's not a god yet, but the great one, Shigaraki, he's still on the prowl, and we got some people on the battlefield, and Todoroki shouts out to him, like, so much to talk about. Let's get into some of that My Hero Academia greatness! Chapter 289, let's do it.
I say we gon' do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be though.
So I really appreciated how Horikoshi mixed and dibbled and dabbled in this chapter with giving us some of the stuff going back to the events with Toga and Uraraka, and that was powerful, and again, we'll get into that. But also showcasing some new people arriving at the battlefield, you know, the big fight with Shigaraki and whatnot, and also giving us more of Shigaraki, even though it was only a few pages here or there, and he's just an absolute wreck and a mess. It was like, oh man, you giving us like 3 different events that are all really, really hype, especially, well, no, I don't even want to say especially, because I was just digging the shit out of everything. Let's start, because the chapter begins with Hado, which, yo, the original big 3, the OG big 3, one of them at the very least, on her way to the battlefield to where Shigaraki's at, alongside Ida. And I gotta give some props at the very least, Ida having the balls, the cojones, even though he's breaking the rules. They said, yo, unless you can fly, don't head over there, because this dude, like, if you think about it, Ida is doing a disservice to a certain degree of being there, because, like, yo, now you're one more person that Deku is worried about and having anxiety over. Like, this dude is gonna have a full-blown anxiety attack at the end of all of this, because now, okay, like, even though it's great in terms of, like, yo, he could grab some people and just run the hell away, and maybe he could outpace Shigaraki's decay or some shit like that, but bam, it's good and bad. But either way, Hado and Ida on their way to the battlefield. Of course, the convo back and forth of Hado saying, like, yo, you know, you're breaking the rules. Ida like, I don't care, my friends is over there, I gotta do what I gotta do. And that's dope, because, you know, if you go back of even the Stain stuff, when they helped to rescue Ida when he was going down that dark path of just wanting to kill and avenge his brother and shit like that, to see it come full circle and now he's returning the favor, that's dope. That's really good writing. But after, of course, it was about like 2 chapters ago now, the separation of Deku and Shigaraki, we pick up from where that left off, and Todoroki catches Deku, and yo, shouts out to Shoto at this point, because fam, he got Endeavor, Bakugo, and Deku to handle. He catches him, and now he's like, yo, I gotta do first aid, which I'm not a big fan of that, and I'm thankful that Horikoshi also was like, okay, we're not gonna do that either, because he's been like playing like an assist role, a healing role. Like, he even says in this chapter, yo, first aid, and when I first read that, I'm like, oh, come on, man. Can Shoto get his hands dirty a little bit? Like, this dude is nasty too with the hands. He's arguably stronger than Bakugo, or just on that point. Maybe not on Deku's level and shit like that, but yo, let's see some work. And when Horikoshi had him say what he said to Hado, I was like, yes! Because Shigaraki is back up, and All For One is trying to tell him, fam, you need to retreat ASAP. What are you doing? And he's like, yo, you ain't the boss of me. What are you talking about, fam? And he just has like all these, I don't even know, these arms or some shit that is holding him up, and it just looks crazy. Like, Shigaraki is definitely making a mistake. At this point, I feel as though that's a bit of his arrogance, definitely a whole bunch of his hatred, and still to a certain degree the juvenile in him, because he's still young. He's still not understanding. Like, All For One, he's a grown-ass man that's been through battle after battle, so he knows when, okay, I need to retreat right now and come back and try and bomb on them again. Right now, Shigaraki is just acting his age and his inexperience still. Like, he's not completely all the way ready yet. He's almost there. We've seen, like, he has come a hell of a long way from that stooge that showed up to invade UA and got his ass dusted off by All Might and them back in the first arc. But where he's at right now, he's still not completely, like, he's acting like, you know, one of those kids you see on Dr. Phil or some shit. I do what I want. Like, right now, he's pulling a Catch Me Outside girl. Oh, God, no. Sorry for the disrespect, senpai. No, don't hurt me. And to be honest with you, when he started acting like that, I just felt like the only one that's really going to be able to save him at this point is Gigantomachia. However much more is going to happen there, Gigantomachia is the only one is going to be able to drag him away and say, enough is enough, master. I got to save you at all costs. And maybe he's going to get hurt in the process because Shigaraki's being very stubborn. Even like, okay, you don't want All For One to pull the wool over your eye and trick you and all that shit. Fine, but leave. But then Hato seemingly starts throwing some blows. And I'm like, let's go, baby. More people on the battlefield. Let's do this. Like, don't forget, she was with some of the upperclassmen. She was part of the Big Three alongside Medio and what was his name? I forget his name. We're gonna call him Sasuke because that's what he represented in my opinion. But Shoto tells Ida to get them and get out of here. Get the people that are all messed up. Like, yo, let's go. Which I'm like, oh, Shoto, really? Alright. And of course Deku, no, he wants me, fam. It's all about me. No, I get it. Deku was like understanding that Shigaraki really wants one for all, even though at this point I thought he accepted that, like, hey, I'm still too early to try and do that. The powers haven't settled yet. I can't steal it. So I don't know if necessarily he still is really after Deku at this point. Like, cause can he even steal it? Like, is he too early? Like, yeah, I thought that was kind of already explained. But then when Shoto says, yo, Hato, he's weakened. He ain't healing fast anymore. I'm just like, it was basically seeming like Shoto was trying to say, let's jump him. Let's jump him right now. And yo, baby, I don't know, like, cause you gotta think, Hato she's strong. Like, yo, again, I gotta keep on referencing she's a part of the original Big Three of My Hero Academia. Like, now I call them original Big Three of My Hero Academia because Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki are the newer Big Three in this series. And I also gotta say in this series because Big Three people will start thinking I'm talking about Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, and we're not talking about that right now. Hey! But I ain't gonna lie, I'm all for that, even though I don't think that's about to happen because at the end of the chapter, everybody is just there and it's like, holy shit. But I would have loved to see that, and that's so different from what I expected of Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki versus Shigaraki. Yo, Hato and Todoroki versus a very injured Shigaraki. I'm for that. Yeah, sign me up. But then we come back to something that's pretty interesting as well. The fight of Toga versus Uraraka. And I'll be honest with you, this was more deep and complex than the other stuff. Like, yeah, that's big battle and that's the big centerpiece of everything that's going on in the war and shit like that. You know, this Shigaraki stuff. But this right here was a huge character defining moment for Toga. A huge character development moment for Toga at that. Because it was her trying to understand heroes, their mindset, and what they feel about her. Is it okay? And if you go into a deeper dive of this, it is very, very deep and kind of fucked up. Because Toga is basically, throughout all of this, without giving you the beat-by-beat playback, she's basically expressing herself, right? She's giving Uraraka her deep and dark secrets of, yo, when I meet people that I really care about and love, I want to be them and I'll suck up all their blood and shit like that. I can't help myself. This is who I am. So she is little by little telling her since I was a kid, I was this way, giving her, being vulnerable essentially to Uraraka, being vulnerable of like, yo, this is who I am, and trying to understand, will the heroes accept me? Is there a place in society for somebody like me? Even to the point of where she snatches the All Might keychain and reveals that she also has feelings for Deku and shit like that. Like, this is her trying to have, in her own twisted way, girl talk with Uraraka, but also again trying to find her resolve. Can the heroes understand? Are all the heroes fucked up like that? And I'll be honest with you, I feel as though Uraraka dropped the ball big time. I get it. I understand that you have to be a hero and shit like that, and I also understand that Uraraka is just as inexperienced as they are. Like, yeah, she's been through some shit, but in terms of being a full-blown hero with all of the answers, she's not All Might. All Might probably could have given Toga the answers she was looking for, but Uraraka is still a pledgling. So when Uraraka basically tells her, after Toga's like spilling her guts to her and trying to get off her resolve and shit like that, that nah, fam, you act like that, you gotta suffer the consequences. Even telling her like, yo, but I suppressed my feelings for Deku. Like, okay, you think I like him, cool beans, but I keep that down. And that's also a sad thing, like, because especially if we're talking about Japanese society, obviously societies in different parts of the world are a little bit different, but in Japanese society, like, no matter how hard your feelings are and shit like that, the nail that sticks out gets hammered in. That's the saying over there. And basically, Uraraka saying like, even though I have these feelings for him, I gotta suppress them. And if you got those feelings, you gotta suppress them. You gotta learn to suppress it. And Toga is fighting back saying, but this is who I am. Why do I have to hide who I am because of society? So I understand it on both aspects. I think Toga she was trying to find a middle ground or just some answers that kind of clarifies what she is and who she is. And I think Uraraka just turned Toga straight up to the dark side. I think there was some hope for Toga to either try and understand or become a vigilante or somewhere in the middle. But I think that after this conversation with Uraraka, after this bout, and by the way, shout outs to Uraraka, because she like, yo, I'm stronger now. This ain't the same shit. It's sad, because even when she's telling her about what happened with the Liberation Army, I used your quirk because I really rock with you. Like, she's showing in her twisted way the admiration that she has for Uraraka, the admiration she has for Deku, that she likes Deku, giving everything. And to get those answers back, that crushed her. The fact that she dropped the keychain and left crying, and when Tsuyu showed up, Tsuyu was like, what's going on? She's probably gonna attack. And Uraraka, it probably hit her at that point like, you fucked up a little bit, because being a hero isn't only rescuing an old lady from a burning building, right? That's not only the case for being a hero. You're supposed to save people and protect people in all facets. And if this girl came to you trying to understand, maybe she could have flipped and been a good person, you didn't give her the answer she needed. Again, it's not completely Uraraka's fault, because she's telling you, I'm a fucked up person. I want to be free to be a fucked up person. How can I figure this shit out? And your answer is kind of like, well, you be fucked up. You got to suffer the consequences. It's like, but that's who I am. So it's a very deep and complex relationship and situation there. And yeah, I feel really bad for Toga. I could see that she is probably going to go full-blown all the way evil after this one, unless she sees something seriously wrong on the villain side, because Uraraka just shitted on her. But we cut back to the battle at the end, and oh my god, Horikoshi, the art that he delivered. And it seems as though Hado and Shoto are going against Shigaraki. Shit is getting wild, and then we get that beautiful double spread. Higatomaki, Shoto, Dabi, Deku, and Deva, Hado, Ida, Shigi. I'm like, yo! This chapter delivered everything that I needed, everything I would want from a My Hero Academia chapter. It gave some very, very intimate and close looks at some character development, good or bad, because like development for a character, like if you're a villain and you're finding your purpose and ways for being a villain, that is also development. It's not only just like, oh, developing to being a good person. Like, it depends on what the role of the character is. So the fact that Toga made her resolve and decided, I'm going full-blown villain, seemingly, after Uraraka shitted on her, that's a very good thing. So I love that aspect of it. I love the bigger action pieces of Shigaraki going bonkers. Again, I think Gigantomachia is the only person that is going to be able to save him from sitting in a cell for the rest of his life, because he's not listening to All for One. He damn sure can't really go at it with anybody. Look at him. He can't even regenerate anymore. He looks like a zombie at this point. Like, curious what you guys thought about this chapter. How did you feel about the Toga and Uraraka situation? What could Uraraka have said in response to Toga that could have quelled all of the way she felt and made her feel like, maybe I shouldn't be a villain? That would be a very interesting thing. I want to see what you guys have to say about that one. What do you think is going to happen? Like, at this point, it's getting a little unpredictable with the fight against Shigaraki. Like, yo, I never thought Hado and Todoroki would be throwing hands. And do you think that it's only going to be Gigantomachia that can save Shigaraki now? Because he clearly ain't listening to his master. He's like, there's none of your goddamn business. And even though everybody's injured, he's still outmatched. Like, shit is crazy. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the My Hero Academia manga with chapter 290 and beyond. This chapter, man, oh, the art, the storytelling, the characters, like, this was fire. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy! Have an awesome day. Peace in. And I ain't gonna lie, I feel really bad for Toga. Like, what could have Uraraka said that would have made everything all better? I don't know. Have an awesome one, people.
It's nights like this, and times like this, that I can give another hit. But I've got this inside a switch.